a previous video I was talking about replacing the tiller bearing. After speaking to an engineer who was on the marina, he just told me that I needed to just tighten the grub screw that's in the middle of this video. Just tightened it up because it was covered in paint and grease before, so I couldn't really see it. But once it's tightened up, all the shaking stopped. So that's a job I don't have to do anymore. Over the Easter weekend we went for a cruise towards Wigan. As we got to Appley, we saw this cruiser moored up on the side that had been stripped out completely, looking a bit sad. It wasn't there on the way back, so we presume that the CRT must have taken it out of the water. As we got to the pound at the bottom of the Wigan flight, the water was extremely low, so we had to stick to the middle while Stephen was on the towpath opening the locks because I couldn't get to the side. Towards Wigan Pier itself, and I absolutely love these little cottages that are just in front of Trenchfield Mill, which has now been converted into apartments. There is still a steam engine in there as well, which is, I believe, the oldest steam engine still in its original building. Underneath the bridge, we've just come to the Wigan Pier quarter now. It's been left in a bit of a state, Wigan Pier. There is plans to regenerate it all, but at the minute it is just a bit done. These are just the warehouses. There used to be a museum in there. I explain all about Wigan's history. The Wigan Pier itself is just this little jetty to one side, which I'll show in a minute. They just used to empty coal into the barges waiting below it. Grew up around this area, so I know it like the back of my hand. There's these two locks that are next to each other. If you notice, the one on the right hand side, which is this one, which is now disused, is lower than the one that's being used at the moment. Because of all the mining that happened in the area, the canal subsided, so they had to rebuild a new lock slightly higher. So all along this stretch you'll notice that the towpath's quite high. Then as we go through Crook Lock, which is now disused lock, the towpath slopes back down and goes to the original height again. All along this stretch of the canal there is a lot of disused locks, which I presume is from all the subsidence. Just after Crook Lock is Crook Marina, where we used to have a little cruiser when I was a kid. Originally it was a branch up to a canal which ran through a tunnel up to one of the mines, so they could extract coal directly from the mine face. As we get to Crook Village itself, there is a little mine truck on the side which just replicates of where the tipping point used to be for loading the barges of the coal. In the bottom right on this plaque you'll see the coaling stage that used to be there. near Crook overnight, and then the next day we travel past Gathurst down to Appley Bridge. Before Gathurst locks, we've got the canal at the bottom, then the railway bridge, and then the M6 motorway, all crossing over each other at this